one of Satan's greatest weapons is fear. But God says in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, God has not given us the spirit of fear, which tells you fear is a spirit, which is demonic, and it didn't come from God, so it didn't come from God, it came from Satan. But here's what God did give us: of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Why of? The spirit of love, the spirit of power, and the spirit of a sound mind. It takes all three of those Holy Spirits from God to defeat that one demonic, evil spirit of fear from Satan. And that's what Satan, and that's why God says, perfect love casts out fear. So that tells you, if you're afraid of people's faces, if you're afraid to give your testimony that God has delivered you from something, you are working for Satan, whether you realize it or not, because you're too afraid to honor God. And so that's why on that list my wife read in Revelation chapter 21, verse 8, the fearful is the first one on the list of people going to hell. And I remember when I first saw that, I said, God, please, why are you sending fearful people to hell? He said, I'm not sending anybody to hell. They are more reverentially they fear Satan more than they reverentially respect me. And I just threw my hands up and I said, okay, God, I understand. They're too afraid of Satan to be obeying you. And to this minute, I'll ask you, have you ever witnessed to somebody Christ? Have you ever tried to lead somebody to Christ? The vast majority of you are going to say no. My next question is why? Your answer is because I'm scared. Why are you scared? Because they might cuss me out. No, they're not going to cuss you out. They're going to cuss God out in you, because it's not you that's representing. It's not you that's witnessing to them. It's the Holy Spirit that's witnessing to them through you. But you love your reputation so much that you cannot even get cussed out when Jesus died on the cross for you to be able to give your testimony. So if Jesus can die on the cross for me, why am I going to be afraid to witness to you? Why am I going to be afraid to tell how God delivered me from lust and fornication and adultery and all that other kind of stuff? Why am I going to be afraid of that? Jesus died for me to be able to be delivered from the sinful proclivities that caused me to go down that road. So why am I going to be afraid? And why am I going? And I'm not going to let you make me afraid of giving my testimony either. I'm not going to. You could be you could be a pious pimp if you want to, but you're not going to stop me from glorifying God, because I know from whence I came. I know where He delivered me from.